Good morning, everyone, to the September 2025 Regional Rally for KW Colorado. My name is Russ Nolte. I'm your Regional Director, joined by Kelly Sutter, our Regional Ops Manager, Jenny Schlipp, our Regional MCA, and our favorite regional tech trainer, Leslie Jackson. Today, we're going to do some brief announcements, a quick tech update with Leslie. We're going to do some agent recognition, some market recognition. Cooper's got an awesome market update that you don't want to miss. And then our main event today is Evolve Your Strategy and Brand for Now with Kimber Walton. The reason Kimber's here is because Kimber's breakout at Mega Agent Camp was the most highly rated breakout. And we thought, let's get her to KW Colorado to share some of her great marketing info. Founders Day 2025 by KW Next Gen is coming soon, and we have a opportunity for you to donate to support young people getting into real estate and young people that are related to the older people at KW. A $49 plus donation will get you a Success Accelerator bundle, which is a powerful set of self-pacing learning tools that you can use to grow your business. A $100 donation for our kids will provide for you a virtual live stream of Quantum Leap with Gary Keller September 18th. And if you know, Gary doesn't do these very often, so this is a great opportunity. Donate today to KW Next Gen. You can scan the QR code in order to be linked right in. Kelly, you want to add anything on that?
I dropped it in the chat. Founders Day is this week. So if you donate $100, you will get the live stream with Gary, which is this week.
Awesome. All right, moving on. Rocky Mountain Summit is right around the corner, and we still have about 10 spots available before the last seat is taken. Our keynote speaker, Phil M. Jones, is ready, and we've met with him just recently to make sure that the content he's bringing to you is absolutely current and ready to go. Logan Matashami from Housing Wire is going to be doing our economic update. I met with our panelists last week. Scott Maloof is going to be doing a segment on events with a breakout. Jenny Wolick's going to be talking about agent-to-agent referrals with a breakout. Scott Schumann is going to talk about seller seminars with a breakout. Allie Flanagan Napier is going to be talking AI with a hands-on AI workshop. There's so much great stuff coming for this year's Rocky Mountain Summit. I can't wait. The room block is sold out. However, you can still find rooms in Vail and elsewhere at some pretty good rates. Scan the QR code for your Rocky Mountain Summit ticket. Our agenda has been put together. Kelly, where can someone go to this agenda if they want to read all the details?
Yeah, you can go to the Eventbrite page, or you can go to our new Rocky Mountain website, kwrockymountainsummit.com. I will drop that link in the chat also.
Awesome. At that link, you will see details on what you get for the breakout at each of the breakout sessions. So you might want to review that so you make sure you end up in the right room. Also, we have availability for the Sunday afternoon luxury summit with Carolyn Huo. And I've actually got a video about this. So let's play the video.
Hello, everyone. My name is Caroline Huo, and I have the pleasure and honor to serve as the Director of Professional Development for Keller Williams Luxury, and I co-lead the luxury division alongside the fabulous Brady Sandall. And I am so excited. Why? Because on Sunday, September 21st, I get to be with all of you, the Colorado region, as I lead and host the Vail Luxury Summit. This is a format that we've created just for you that you've not experienced before. It's 3 parts. Part 1, we're going to open the summit with setting the stage with a keynote. And our keynote speaker is the Tony Giordano. Tony is a thought leader, he's an author, and he is an expert in the world of luxury. And his conversation to us as we open is the sophistication presence, the luxury presence, what we need to do and how we need to show up today to attract the high net worth consumer and what they expect. Now that leads us into a panel of 3 dynamic, powerful agents from different parts of the country serving different markets, including a second home market. And we're going to be talking about a few things. Number 1, credibility and attraction. How to build your credibility and attract the clients you want, not just anyone, but the clients you want. What are the lead sources that work? And how to stay top of mind in a second home market. Then we're going to be talking about leaping up the ladder price point if you choose to, and how they have done it. Then we're going to be talking about something relevant for today, pricing with confidence, how to have those difficult upfront conversations with your client, including how to use data. And then we're going to be talking about what the luxury experience needs to look like and a lot of the takeaways, mistakes that we've all made, things that we wished we would have known. Then that leads us to our final segment of the summit, and that is a table activation where I'm going to lead you through an exercise that's going to hold a mirror to your business, and you're going to be able to make some changes if you want to and take some of what you learned so that you can walk out with a playbook and actionable steps to transform your business the Q4 of this year and finish strong into 2026 and beyond. So please join us. It's something that you've not experienced before. We promise this will be incredible content and worth your time. And I cannot wait to see all of you there.
Okay, so the Luxury Summit is on Sunday afternoon. It ends with a happy hour outside at the Height, and we're looking forward to seeing you there.
Hello, everyone.
Whoops.
Hello, everyone.
There we go. Also on Sunday in the morning is Her Best Life Mastermind with Wendy Papazan. She'll be ready to go at 10 a.m. bright and early on Sunday. It's a 2-hour mastermind, and that is a $29 add-on as well. We are doing, in cooperation with KW Yoga at the summit, we're doing Sunrise Flow at the summit. This is for you early risers like Charles at 6 a.m. Monday, September 22nd. Charles, I think, is co-leading it. It's in the Mountain View room at the Height, second floor, overlooking Vail Mountain. This is a free thing. We are asking for donations to KW Next Gen if you choose. And we're looking forward to Sunrise Flow at the summit. 2 more things on the summit. Summit Soiree is Monday evening. It is at 6. It's in one of the penthouses at the Height. We're going to have all of our speakers there, our panelists that are flying in from all across the country. Wendy Harrelson, our regional operating partner and president of KWRI Regions, will be there. Stacy Herron, our chief operating and legal officer, will be there. We're not going to be talking about operations and legal things, but great time at the Summit Soiree. Don't miss. VIP breakfast with Phil Jones is Tuesday morning. That is 7 to 8:30 a.m. And that is a special mastermind with Phil. Photo op. He's bringing signed limited edition copies of his Exactly What to Say for Real Estate Agents. So a fun time will be had by all. Also on announcements of upcoming events, we are doing a special event with Choice Home Warranty on what realtors need to know about the 2025 EPA mandate. This is a CYA training, help you advise your clients properly. And I work with Choice Home Warranty a lot, and they've got a great speaker, Bradford Sterling, who is going to be talking about this special change that everyone, I think, needs to know about in order to advise their clients properly. That is on October 2nd, 12 Mountain, kwcoloradoevents.com. This is a free training. It's digital, by the way. All of these things can be found at kwcoloradoevents.com. And Amy Dieselkamp from Growth Minded Talent Solutions, one of our favorite sponsors at KW Colorado, is here to talk to us for a moment. Amy?
Thanks so much, Russ. I appreciate it. Hey, everyone. Glad to be here with you today. Really looking forward to the summit, looking forward to getting up there to beautiful Vail and seeing all the pretty leaves turn colors next week. So very excited to see hopefully all of you there in person. But this week in preparing for this call, I was pulling some numbers and looking ahead. As many of you may know, Growth Minded Talent Solutions, we are here to help you with your hiring needs. So helping you with finding those right support people to your team to help you with whether it's an executive assistant, a transaction coordinator, an MCA for your market center, a director of ops for your growing real estate team. We can help you with finding those right people, getting them in place, and even with doing some training. So we take care of all of that for you at Growth Minded Talent. And looking at our numbers for our Colorado clients over the past 6 months, I found some really interesting data. First and foremost is we have our placement down to 100 days exactly on average for our Colorado clients. So that means that in the span of roughly a quarter, we can identify the need that you have, write that ideal job description, get our candidate profile in place, and then go out, find that candidate, and have them ready to go and placed before the next quarter starts. So for those of you looking ahead to 2026, setting your goals, and as you're looking at what needs to happen between now and then to set your 2026 up for success, if you're finding that placing the right who in one of these key positions on your team is one of those things that you need to do, Growth Minded Talent can definitely help you do that. We can get started with you right away to make sure that you've got that right person in place by the beginning of the year. So that way, Q1 of 2026, you're on track and to hit those goals for next year. So would love to talk to you all more about that. Come find me at the summit next week, or feel free to scan the code below and schedule a one-on-one call with me on our website.
Thank you, Amy. Appreciate it. And I want to thank all of our sponsors that help us put on events for KW Colorado. Top Flight Home Loans. I just saw Chance's mug on the screen. Growth Minded Talent Solutions, Rocky Mountain Title, Choice Home Warranty, and Coordinator Team Real Estate Administrative Services. Thank you all for being generous and partnering with us. Leslie, take it away.
Hi, everyone. Happy Monday, everyone here in Colorado. I'm so excited about Rocky Mountain Summit. I cannot wait. I hope to see you all there. And yet, I want to discuss a little bit about Canva. Have you guys heard about Canva? I hope you have. I know it's been the past couple weeks of teaching and training you on how to get into Canva. It's such an exciting partnership, and I continue to offer some of our Canva classes for you. So come and see me today if you are a part of a team, because I want to teach you everything about a brand kit and sharing. The other thing that I want to point out too is that I'll be teaching around templates, how to connect your listings to those templates, and social media, and a little bit of AI throughout the month. So come see me every Thursday at 11 and 12 p.m. today if you're a team.
Can I ask a question about that?
Russ.
Would these team classes be appropriate for a solo agent who has like an admin that what do you call it? Like an virtual assistant?
Absolutely. I think that's a great question. Yes, please come.
Okay, awesome. Next slide.
Yeah, next slide. And I really want to point out too that it's only been 11 days. And here are some numbers to just shout out and celebrate. 22,945 active members to this day. 57,831 designs have already been created, and almost 33,000 of them have been shared. This is an amazing launch and has given us some perspective of how much everybody's really using Canva. So if you haven't come to my class already, now is the time. And Russ, I think you and I are going to share a little bit more, right?
We are. We're going to.
Awesome.
So for those who haven't gotten here yet, the URL to get to Canva, powered by KW or KW, whatever, KW Canva, is canva.kw.com. And then you use your normal credentials to get in. Take it away, Leslie.
That's right. So you'll use your command login, as some of you have already come to my class last week, but you're going to navigate here to your homepage, and on the left-hand side of the screen, underneath projects, you'll see Canva Enterprise Onboarding. And what I love about this, if you're a little bit behind, don't worry. This will literally give you a step-by-step tutorial on how to get started, how to create templates, and you're going to select this Getting Started section, and it'll literally walk you through everything. It'll give you a glimpse on how to organize your templates, how to share if you have some team members, things of that nature. So yeah, this is a great little step-by-step guide that you have access right now.
Awesome. All right.
Awesome. Thanks, Ross. Thanks, Kelly. Oh, and of course, don't forget about our KW regional YouTube channel. We put these calls there, and you could also find my tech classes underneath the playlist as well.
All right. Moving on to some recognition. Individuals, August 2025, closed units. In the number 5 spot is a multi-way tie. 5 units closed. The Krylov Group, Jody Bahena, Tim Wade, Tina Cameron, Lloyd Crum, Kevin Everson, Tony Giacconi, Christy Watson, Sarah Kano, Catherine Bartik, and Carrie George. Great job. Number 4, a 2-way tie, Don Howe Group and Diane Goldsmith. Number 3, Kristen White from Denver Southeast. Number 2 was 7 units, 5-way tie, Hussein Garcia, Nick Folkadal team, Daniel's home team, Faith Young and Regina Stout, and top closed unit individual with 10 closings, Sheila Bailey. Moving on to volume, Michael Kaiser took the 10th spot, Dan Howe Group the 9th, Daniel's home team the 8th, Carrie George the 7th. Number 6 was Bonnie Peterson. Number 5, Christy Watson. Number 4, Nick Fogeldahl team. And the top 3 were Lynn Schneider Getz, from Denver Tech Center, Tony Giacconi, and Sheila Bailey closed 8.3 million. Great job all. For GCI, the Krylov Group was number 10, Daniel's home team number 9, Carrie George number 8, Michael Kaiser number 7, Will Rostron number 6, Lynn Getz number 5, Christy Watson number 4, Nick Fogeldahl team number 3, Tony Giacconi number 2, and Sheila Bailey with 226, 141, number 1. Great job all. Moving on to teams, this is 2 people in production. For closings with 4 units each, number 5, the Artisan Group, Innovate Properties, JC Denver home team, Clinkscales home team, and Livy and Lex Smith homes. Number 4 with 5 units, Distinct Group, Unity Group, Malarcy Home Network, and Deluxe. Number 3, Ideal Ascent tied with the Vincent Group. Number 2, the Q Group. And number 1, Tony Greer and Associates with 291 units. And as you might be thinking, that's a typo, but it is not. Great job, Tony Greer and Associates. Closed volume, Distinct Group number 10. The Artisan Group number 9, AN Homes number 8, Innovate Properties number 7. Number 6 is the Malarcy Home Network. Number 5, Tony Greer and Associates. Number 4, Livy and Lex Smith Homes. Top 3, the Q Group, the Vincent Group, and Ideal Ascent, 4.9 million in closings. GCI teams, JC Denver home team was number 10, Clinkscales number 9, Distinct Group number 8, Tony Greer number 7, Livy and Lex Smith Homes number 6, AN Homes number 5, the Vincent Group number 4, and the top 3, Innovate Properties number 3, the Q Group number 2, and Ideal Ascent number 1. Great job, Laura and Sarah. Top groups, August 2025, number 10, 6 units closed. Shea team tied with the Dolph team, tied with the Vesta team, tied with the Home Partnership Group, tied with Rasmussen Group. Number 9, 7 units. The Onyx team, June's team, Tetford team Real Estate, Buy Sell Invest team, Team Front Range, and the Carol Kessler team. Number 8, Lux Home Group. Number 7, with 8 units each, Legacy Properties Group, the Thayer Group, the Vega team, the Pena Group team, R&R Group, Next Gen Home Group, at the team. Number 6, Dixon Group tied with the Kibler Group. Number 5, Hudson Stonegate team tied with Relevate. Number 4, Jamie Baker Orr tied with PCS Pro, tied with Summit Group Collective at KW Partners. And the top 3, Empower Home Team, Colorado Front Range with 15 closings. Number 3, Colorado Lifestyle Real Estate Group with 17 units. Number 2, and the Johnson Team, Downtown Colorado Springs, 27 closings. Great job. For volume, Tetford Team Real Estate, number 10, the Dolph Team, number 9, at the team, number 8, Relevate, number 7, the Thayer Group, number 6, Team Black Bear, number 5, the Carol Kessler team, number 4, and our top 3 volume, Empower Home Team, Colorado Front Range was 3.
Which way do we go in? Oh, right here. Is this where their little offices?
I got her.
Thank you. Colorado Lifestyle Real Estate Group, number 2, and the Johnson team, number 1. GCI, Buy, Sell, Invest team, 117,000. Coppervine Property Management, 119,000. Relevate, 131,000. Tetford team, 131,000. The Skinner team, 136. Team Black Bear, 209. The Carol Kessler team, 212. Top 3, Colorado Lifestyle Real Estate Group, 244,000. Empower Home Team, Colorado Front Range, $252. And the Johnson team, $386,441. That's awesome. Great job, all. Expansion. These are expansion teams that have their hubs in Colorado. Selling Southern Colorado closed 11. The PCS Pro Team 15, Relevate 17. The Phoenix for volume 3.9 million. Homes of Expansion Network 3.9 and a little more million. Relevate 12 million. GCI, the Phoenix 109, Homes of Expansion Network 122, and Relevate 344. Great job. Market center recognition. Closed volume, Client's Choice 46 million, Denver North 48 million, Denver West 58 million, Denver Downtown 72 million, and DTC led closed volume at 115. Units. Client's Choice 95, Denver West 103, Denver Downtown 147, Denver Tech Center 174, Pueblo 351. And listings taken 80 for Denver West, 89 for Downtown, 109 for Client's Choice, 127 for Pueblo, and 166 for DTC. Great job. Cooper, you're up.
All right. Thank you, Russ. Let me share my screen here. All right. Thank you, everybody, for having me, and happy September. We've got some interesting statistics to share with you about what's been going on in the market over the past month. So let's dive right in and jump into what I think is the best news that we've had in the last month. 2 weeks ago on Friday, the Bureau of Labor Statistics released their August jobs report, and it came in at just 22,000 new jobs added, which was very short. In fact, it was about a quarter of what was projected at 75,000 jobs. So we saw these headlines, hiring stalled, things aren't great if you're looking for a job. However, the impact that this had on mortgage rates was very good. And we saw on September 5th, the biggest single day drop in mortgage rates at about 16 basis points that we've had all year. So good news is that mortgage rates are seeing some downward pressure. The bad news is, unfortunately, it comes at the cost of the jobs market. And just a quick reminder about why jobs reports impact mortgage rates. Jobs reports that come in under expectations kind of signal a weaker job growth, a cooling economy. That makes investors more cautious, and they purchase more safer assets instead of stocks. They will invest in bonds and mortgage-backed securities, and with higher bond prices from increased purchasing, that will decrease interest rates. So that's kind of the mechanism that we see why jobs reports or any other economic report might impact mortgage rates. However, they did not move down super significantly, right? Even though it was the largest single day drop in 2025 so far at 16 basis points, we are still hanging around at that 6.29% mark. Just wanted to illustrate a little bit of the challenges between renting and buying right now, or the differential between renting and buying, and why one of the primary drivers behind the lack of buyer motivation that we're seeing right now is certainly this differential. This is a little bit lagging, so we're looking at July data here, but the differential between the average monthly house payment, including PITI, HOA, and an equivalent apartment rent, or the average apartment rent, is $1,600 per month. That is a big difference, and in fact, I think it is the largest difference that we've seen in the 21st century, if not ever. I don't have data that goes back, unfortunately, to the previous century, but this is a huge psychological barrier that buyers are facing right now, is looking at these numbers, seeing rents decline slightly. It doesn't really illustrate it well on this graph, but rents have come down a little bit in the Denver metro area, at least, and not deciding to enter into the for sale market because of this. So an interesting point to help you provide some perspective to your clients on why buyer motivation is really lagging. I think this is one of the large reasons why, is that it is just significantly more expensive on a monthly basis to purchase a home right now than to rent one. Okay, let's look at August real estate data statewide. How did the market perform? Pretty much as expected. Not a lot of surprises here. We did see new listings come down a little bit compared to last year, as well as sold listings. So just an overall quieter market that we experienced in August, as I'm sure we all felt on the ground. Median sale prices have remained remarkably consistent, and I'm going to show you another a graph that illustrates this a little bit better, but we are pretty much exactly where we are at the end of last year. So the median sale price in all of 2024 was 549,000, and we are right about at that in August. So again, a remarkably consistent stability in pricing despite all the inventory challenges that we've been having. Percent of list price received has come down a little bit. We are seeing a lot more negotiating power in the hands of buyers. And of course, that has pressed days on market up about 15% to just about 60 days is the average time on market statewide right now. And at the end of last month, we had about 4.7 months of inventory on the market. When you look at national statistics, you'll typically see people say 4 to 6 months is a balanced market. I believe that in Colorado, we have such a high cost of living and a high demand factor that our threshold for a balanced market is probably a little bit lower given our historical benchmarks for what a balanced market is. I think that 4.7 months is not a balanced market. I think it is more like a buyer's market. And we are starting to see more and more of our figures indicate that buyer's market trend. Again, as promised, I wanted to show you just how stable prices have been this year. This is a plot for all RE Colorado listings statewide and shows the original list price and the sale price. And we've seen, again, a lot of stability here. Intra-year variation on sale prices has really only been within about $25,000 month over month. So not a ton of volatility in pricing, which is a good sign that the market is receptive to the challenges that we're having in inventory. And it is again displaying very, very strong resilience. Let's talk a little bit about price reductions. And this is a little bit of a preview of a panel that I will be on at the summit next week with the amazing Gay Ribble and Wendy Papazan. We're going to talk about pricing strategy and bring a lot more of these interesting metrics. But let's talk a little bit about what is happening with price reductions. The middle market, or the $400,000 to $700,000 range, is experiencing a slightly higher prevalence of price reductions. So we can see that the number of listings here in this middle market that have had no price reductions is a little bit smaller than some of the other markets. Now, it's not by a lot, but we are seeing a little bit, and I think there's two reasons for this. One is the middle market is the mass market, right? That's where most buyers and sellers are concentrated. So more listings means more competition, and more competition means more price pressure. So sellers are over when sellers are overpriced in this price band, they're quickly exposed to the risks of that, and they're forced to reduce quickly. And I think the second factor here, why we're seeing a little bit more price reductions in this price range, is that buyers tend to be more price sensitive. We have a lot of entry-level buyers, first time and move up buyers. They are budget constrained by mortgage rates, and these buyers will notice even small price differences, say $5,000 or $10,000 on a $500,000 home, and sellers have to adjust a little bit more to buyer preferences. Whereas in, say, the million plus range, sellers can be a little bit more stringent on their price reductions. So in this middle market, when a listing is just slightly overpriced, it can be completely ignored and force a seller to price cut to regain attention. The condo market has continued to lag a little bit. And, I've started to think about this question that we're down now 8.2% on average close prices in the last 12 months and over 10% in the last 24 months. So definitely a clear correction in the condo market. And the question now is, when is that correction going to end? And we've started to see a little bit of a leveling off in how condos have performed metric-wise compared to single family. We can see here, average days on market, as expected, it does take about 33% longer to sell a condo in August. Close to list price ratio. Again, these look close, but remember, this is 94% of original list price, and this is 96%. So a 2% differential on our average close price of $400,000 is $8,000. So that is a significant difference in the close to original list price ratio. And then This is a really interesting statistic, the average number of price reductions. And again, a sneak peek, I got an interesting data set that shows me how many price reductions listings have had. And we're going to talk a little bit about that next week at the panel. But condos are experiencing about 1.25 on average, and single family just 1.15. So a little bit of an interesting difference in how condos are having to approach the market to sell. They're obviously having more price reductions, deeper price reductions, and taking longer. So a little bit of a triple whammy there. How did Colorado perform compared to other states across the nation last month? If we look at average days on market, we are number 10 out of all the states, including actually all 51 states if you include DC, because they tend to show up on these metrics. But we are number 10 on days on market. So a lot of the South and the Gulf Coast have been experiencing even longer days on market. I think that there's a real abundance of inventory. I mean, we have an abundance of inventory here, but when you look at somewhere like Florida, where I think 2.4%, I think was the last time I checked, 2.4% of their entire for sale housing stock is active on the market. In Colorado, that number is 1.8, something like that, a little bit lower. So there's other states where they're experiencing a little bit worse inventory challenges, but not quite as bad as, or we are not quite as bad as some of those states. In terms of the difference, though, between where our days on market were last year and this year, we do rank a little bit higher. So we have seen a 23% increase in average days on market August to August, which is third in the country, just behind Tennessee and Nevada. And then another third place here is our percentage of listings with price reductions. We rank number 3 in the country, just behind Oregon and Indiana at about 33%. So in August, about 33% of listings experienced a price reduction within those 30 days of August. All right, to wrap up, let's talk a little bit about some deep insights that you can bring to your sellers to help you explain what these trends mean for them. Number one, buyers are what I'm calling value sorting, which is really just a fancy way of saying deal hunting, right? Price and terms are how deals are getting done, especially in the later stages of a listing. Concessions have remained incredibly prevalent this year, and they continued to display that behavior in August. We had about 62% of all closings in the Denver metro area had a concession logged, and of those, the average amount was, I believe, the highest that we've seen monthly this year. It was $10,989. So our median net close price, so net close price is the sale price less any concessions. The median net close price to our original list price right now is 95.3%. So that represents about a 4.7% pricing error on average or on median. That's a big number. And you're going to see how days on market affects that even more. For listings that are already on the market, right? And we're having these conversations every week with our sellers. The risk of not reducing your price or not adjusting your strategy is not just time. And we know that time is expensive because sellers have carrying costs with their homes, but the risk is not just time. It is a threefold risk on how sellers can lose more money by waiting too long. One, they have the carrying cost of waiting longer, and days on market are adding up into the months category. So that it is multiple mortgage payments, HOA payments, taxes, insurance. It is expensive to hold onto your home. Number two is, of course, a lower sale price. We see a direct correlation with days on market and the percentage of list price received. And number three, of course, is concessions. The more time a listing spends on the market, the higher that average concession number gets. So if a listing sells in the first week, you're probably going to get exactly what you're asking for. If your pricing is spot on and you can sell it in the first week, the median net to original list price is just over 99%. So sellers on average are not losing very much, and only 19% of those listings have to reduce their price. Within the next 8 to 59 days, this is where we're seeing a majority of listings sell that sell quickly. The median net to original list, again, is our 95.83% number. That number is large. It is a little bit larger than I expected it to be for this month. And we saw about 60% of those listings reduce their price. If your listing is on the market for 60 days or more, the median net to original list price drops to 91.3%. and 91% of those listings have had a price reduction. So the strategy is clear. We have to be pricing it right up front. And these are very difficult questions or conversations to have with your sellers. And again, we're going to dive into a little bit more of the numbers of why pricing correctly upfront is so important and just how much money a seller can lose by overpricing or trying to push the market too much. That is not the market that we're in. So a clear price or terms reset, right? Making quick adjustments, making large enough adjustments to be significant to potential buyers is crucial. The typical net after 60 days versus the typical net for a listing that secures an offer in the first week on a $600,000 list price, which is a little bit higher than our statewide median at 550. That is a $47,800 difference. That right there can tell you if you are working with a seller and having a conversation about whether they should price it $25,000 higher or lower, and you show them, hey, seller, I think if you price it 25,000 too high, we're going to sit on the market for 60 days and you're going to lose $47,000 versus if we price it $25,000 lower, we can sell in the first week and your net positive there is $20,000. So just some interesting figures that are great to bring to sellers when having those pricing conversations. And the same applies to buyers too. If you are looking to fuel buyers, to get them motivated to get out there, showing them just how much of a discount they might be able to get on a listing that's been sitting and stale can be really, really helpful. So that is all I have for this week. Again, looking forward to joining everybody at the summit next week and very excited to be on a panel about mastering pricing strategy in our slower market that we are experiencing. Please feel free to reach out to me with any questions, and thank you so much.
All right, thank you, Cooper. Well, I'm excited that Kimber Walton is here, and because we're running a little bit behind, Kimber, where is she? Kimber, take it away.
I'm here. Awesome. Okay, I am going to quickly share my screen. And then we will get started and I will introduce myself because I know some of you are thinking, who is that? Okay, quick thank you to the Colorado region. You have the best leadership here. I have known Leslie specifically for a while, and this is top tier. This is top tier regional leadership right here. Okay, so this is why your regional leadership team asked me to come here. So I am going to quickly introduce myself, and then I will share a couple of the things that I have been involved in and will be involved in, and the reason why I have a message to share for all of you as real estate agents. So I am from the Utah region, actually. So I am used to also adjusting all of Keller Williams events for our amazing time zone of Mountain Standard Time. So we have that in common. I have been at Keller Williams for 11 years. So I'm licensed at the KW South Valley office, which is based out of Salt Lake City. And I have a handful of roles. So because my region is actually the smallest region within Keller Williams, regional technology trainer is a role that I hold, and it's definitely not a full-time position based on how many offices we have in our region. So I do a couple of things. I am a regional technology trainer, and I also run my own marketing company, The Content Group. So I put these on here because this is what we focus on: creative direction, content, branding, and I put it in bold and capital because I love to get involved with strategy. I do not want to just put garbage out into the world. And so I put a lot of intention and thought around helping agents and advising them on the creative direction of their brand. And I am also a KWU approved trainer. So there are about 140 in the company, and I am one of them. So I specialize in our KWU curriculum, and I also love teaching. My specialty is teaching on marketing and branding specifically. So this is why your regional team asked me to be here today. So I was recently just on the social media and branding panel at Mega Camp, if any of you are there in San Antonio. That is me right there. And then also, I am going to be one of the workshops, the only workshop that is around branding and marketing for at the symposium that is at the end of October. So I am very excited about that. I have been a long fan and believer of the brand that is KW Luxury. We will talk about that today. So I love that I get to be involved with our luxury community this year. So that is why I'm here chatting with you today. Russ simply asked me, can you talk to our agents a little bit about your one pager? So if you were at Mega Camp or if you've been and seen a panel, they give you about 3 minutes to answer any of the questions. So even though I sat on that panel as the branding expert, I had about 3 minutes to talk about that subject. So we are going to talk a little bit about it today. And at the end, I will share with you MAPS actually is having 8 of the panelists from Mega Camp do a deep dive on their panel. And so I'll share with you how you can get that information because I am actually going to be teaching this on the 18th. And so if you want to know and learn more, you can sign up for that. So we'll share that. So this is the premise or what started how I built out my one pager. So on July 10th, something big happened, and I screenshotted my actual social media post that I posted on our Home Hub. My marketing company runs the content for the Home Hub. It's a shared services platform, basically. And I just put Instagram is changing everything. So what actually happened on July 10th was this. Instagram allowed for a toggle that you could turn on as real estate agents that have an Instagram business or creator account. You can go turn on that all of your content on your social platform would now be publicly available. So here's why that completely changed the game. It changed the game because now everything you do on your social profiles, if you have either a business or creator account and you have that turned on, is now that is showing up in searches. And Google is always a nice place to show up. But I will tell you the reason why Meta made this change is primarily because of AI. We want our content on Instagram to pull to AI, mainly because you're starting to notice if you watch the trends of either yourself being an AI enabled agent, AI adopter, or even just watching people maybe a tiny bit younger than you is what I've noticed, that the consumer behavior is starting to shift. Google is not the autopilot anymore if we're going to search for things. It is now becoming your large language models, your chat GPT, those type of platforms. And also, even people are using the search in social media to search for things. So because of that, it gave us an opportunity overnight, which means we can now tap into free attention by using our social media profiles and marketing strategically and not just doing what we have always done. So when they asked me to be on the panel and create a one pager, I said, okay, here is my condition with this one pager. The pillars that I share with agents, I want that to be what I call evergreen, meaning if you look at this page a year from now, my hope is those pillars remain the same, that I am giving you good advice. And I wanted it to be that way because the world is changing at a faster pace than it ever has. And I did not want my one pager to be relevant for 45 days because I already feel like there are things that I would add to it now. So when I go through this, again, this is the quick version, and just know you can get access to attend the more of the deep dive that I'll be doing with Cody Gibson this week. These 5 pillars are the evergreen, and then the strategy is going to be really changing as AI and technology evolves. So let's go through some of those. So the first one that I shared is identifying your 5 marketing channels. So sometimes this overwhelms agents when I say 5. The statistics around this are the agents that lean into 5 marketing channels have double the GCI, gross commission income, of those that have 3 or less. And really, why that is not because they're necessarily a better real estate agent. Maybe they don't even have a larger marketing budget. It is because they are everywhere. So, layering is a term we use in marketing that just says that we're providing consistent messaging, but we're meeting people where they're at. Some people use LinkedIn, some people consume content on social media, some people really dig into their email, some people are more in person. Our plan needs to be, we don't necessarily have to do 5 times the work, but whatever content that we're putting out and our strategy and messaging, we want to make sure that that is meeting our SOI, our client base, right? Where they are at, meeting them where they're at. And so this is a philosophy that I have adopted from a content creator that I have followed for a long time. His name is Gary Vaynerchuk. But he always said this, and I have adopted it wholeheartedly with everything that I do. It is and, not or. When I am consulting with an agent, the most common question I get is, okay, so for example, let's use an example. I really want to post this on Instagram, and I've heard that LinkedIn might be effective. Should I post it on Instagram, or do you think I should post it on LinkedIn? If you know me for more than 5 minutes, you know I am going to say, why not both? Yes, there is ways to optimize the content based on what that platform is asking for at the time, but I'm always and, not or. And so I gave some examples. So business planning season 2026, what are going to be our 5 marketing channels that we lean into? And then from there, we can go out and implement that strategy. The second one that I shared is just being consistent with your brand. I love the example that I have heard from someone else. If you walked into, so Nike is a great brand. We'll talk about that in a moment. If you walked into a Nike hotel, let's say Nike decided to start a hotel, you probably would know exactly what that hotel is going to be like. We could sit here and visualize what that would look like. I bet we would all get pretty close. It's because we understand and we know Nike already. So when we go see Nike Hotel, we would maybe confidently book a night stay or even a vacation there, knowing what to expect. However, if Hyatt potentially said, well, we're going to start selling shoes, I would argue that maybe we're not going to know what to expect. I use those 2 examples just to give what I would consider a really solid brand that has a very clear message, and maybe one that has a good brand, but doesn't necessarily have that key list of things that I would know this is how a Hyatt shoe would be. So a brand for a real estate agent, it's just so people know you when they need you. So everything you do, everything you share and post throughout the year, the week, that's all building on. So when it is time to buy or sell, you are top of mind. I don't love when we start to just tie the word brand too much into logo. Yes, it is a piece. It sometimes is the aesthetic component and the colors. And a brand is really you. It's a promise that you make. It's personal. And this was the thing that I was able to share on the panel because Jason asked me ahead of time, really just help agents define brand for you because there are a million definitions out there. And here is the definition that I lean into. I know I have a good brand if I have a good product, a good story, a good experience, and it is consistent. The good and consistent doesn't really tie, but you get the point. I am good at being consistent. So the only difference between a good and a great brand is simply time. So all of these great brands, Nike, I would say Keller Williams, any of those brands that have been around a long time that we could check the boxes of this. The good to great really is that you have more time on the clock, that your timeliness shows that your brand has actually helped you grow. And the one thing I did share on the panel as well is that the product in this story is you. So, as a real estate agent, you are the product. And I believe that because of when I am deciding what the product is, if I am helping any brand, it doesn't even have to be a real estate business or a real estate agent. I am going to ask, well, how is the business making money? So, in a real estate business, you are being paid commissions because of your representation, because you are the fiduciary. You are not actually being paid on the proceeds of the house, right? Those go to the seller. So the product is really you, your services, your advice, and your experience. And so I think even just that little shift for an agent to recognize that they are the product and they're present in the delivery of everything. I've seen just that by itself shift agents, businesses. So I'm going to go a little bit faster because we only have a few minutes. This is the third one, collect and communicate reviews strategically. I would say in general, us as real estate agents are pretty passive about collecting reviews and communicating them. This is something I teach in the KW class, customer experience. This is one thing that on every transaction you do from today to forever, what is your system for collecting reviews? And then what is your system for communicating it? I said that a year ago, and I said that out of the context of just start telling people through the eyes of the clients that have had a great experience what it's like to work with you. But I was telling people that in a social post aspect. Go post something on social. Now, again, this is why I want this advice to be evergreen and evolve with the tech in front of us. The reason why it's important now is how is a consumer going to interact with AI now to find an agent? They might, if they are a decent prompter, right? Google, we use fragmented sentences. We say ice cream in Denver. We don't use a full sentence, but in AI, we know we're going to get the absolute best result if we put a full sentence, if we give it a context. So we might say something like, can you give me 5 top agents in luxury real estate in Denver, Colorado that have a average review of 4 or higher? I think that's probably the most normal way that someone could interact and find agents. I'm just using the 5 because usually sometimes people like to have a list to then go vet. And I could even make my prompt better by saying something like, please provide their contact information and websites. So now we just switched to we're sharing our reviews from the awesome family that loved working with us to now this is going to optimize the search experience overall. And so us showing up on Google and being present in a lot of these places and showing the reviews that we have, this could be it. And right now, I don't love to use the word free, but right now with that new Instagram tweak that we just had, right now I could argue that it's free attention. So this is going to be one of our pillars that we focus on for next year and moving on. And then I think this kind of just drives home everything I've already said a little bit. But optimizing your content for the platform of the moment is the most important thing. So that title is the evergreen advice I give you. What that looks like now is different than what it looks like even 90 days from now. And so right now, as of what day is it? September 15th, my advice to you is moving from being primarily, educational content on that 80-20 rule. We are really good as real estate agents of letting people know, hey, did you know this? Or look at the 5 ways to stage a home correctly. We're giving advice to cast a net of, hey, I know what I'm doing, right? I'm the fiduciary, hire me. And a lot of times it's not in the current environment, it's not helping us be found. And so I'm advising agents really shift to being 80% of your content really ties you into the community. It is hyper local. You're very specific about cities, about counties, right? However, your local area interacts with those geographic locations. You know the terminology better than I do. County, the term county is used a lot in Utah. That is a big differentiator. And so advising someone in Utah about make sure you let them know you serve the Wasatch Front or Salt Lake or Utah County. Those are important. And then really just putting in your captions the hyperlocal content in there as well. If the post talks about the really cool coffee shop that opened up in Breckenridge, that's awesome. And make sure that the chat and the content really feeds into that as well. That's part of the strategic execution of it. And then the last thing I would say is differentiate. Differentiate is probably one of almost my value pillars. I go into a room, a situation, or even helping someone create a brand strategy. And my first agenda item is, what are you selling? What is your product? How can we differentiate? What makes you different makes you memorable. So that is my first task when I am helping someone do this. So I love to feed into the trends and what's going on, but I really want one post a week at least to be, or for every 4, have one of them be really the differentiator. What makes me different? And then I can start to tell a story with that. Sharing your unconventional approaches to real estate. This example seems weird, but it's the first one that popped up. When I have an agent that has a certain way of how they do open houses, or maybe they go put signs on everything or what is cool, that is a way to differentiate maybe how you do an open house versus someone else. But and not or, did we translate that to the community of here's how we do things a little bit different? And then, so we only have 1 more minute. So I'm going to share a couple of resources for all of you. I shared with your regional team. I have the 5, I call them the Fab 5. It's really the content that I would focus on if I'm building out a content strategy. I've shared that. So you have a graphic. This whole slideshow will be shared with you, but this is my session that I'm going to be going through for 90 minutes, all of this stuff. So then I'll get to use those content examples. I would also just sign up for everything on this Google form that looks attractive to you. So I will just point out there was an awesome Marcus Sheridan panel. His is on there. Wendy Papazan is going to be doing her pricing panel again. So go in there now and check the ones that you want Maps to send you a Zoom link on, and you can get a little bit of that mega camp experience after. And then last thing is just here is how you contact me. So I'm very active on Instagram, Kimber Walton. And then here is my, I have 2 emails, so either one works. And yeah, that's what, Russ, what questions? Sorry, I went straight to time.
No, I think the best thing for us to do is we got a lot of people that are going to jump on your call. Is it Thursday?
Thursday, it's at 12 Mountain Standard. So
Thursday, 12 Mountain Standard. Thank you for sharing this.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I love it.
Thank you for having me.
Folks, thanks for being on our regional rally. The next regional rally is on October 20th. See you soon. Thanks again, Kimber. Take care, everybody.